Hi Anna, it's been a little while since I got to meet with just you, so how have you been feeling?
I've been okay, just trying to stay busy with work and getting used to going back to school.
Right, I forgot you're back in school now. Has to be a pretty big adjustment since you haven't been in public school for a few years. How is it going?
Yeah, it's tough, but I'm really proud of myself for going. Tomorrow will complete my first week. I never could do that before.
Yeah, you really should be proud of yourself. You've come a really long way. I mean, you went from not being able to go to wake up for school, bullying and getting in fights, and now you're doing everything that can help you progress and get closer to reaching your goals.
Yeah, I guess. But mom is trying to ruin my dreams as always.
Did mom do something?
Yeah, honestly, she's fucking crazy. I'm so sick of her blaming me for everything. She is always telling me that I have something wrong with me, and it really makes me think, like, is this true? But it can't be. I've done so much good in my life, and if it wasn't for me, she probably wouldn't even have her kids anymore. But when you hear that every day, it's like maybe there is something wrong with me. This literally goes through my head all the time. I question everything I do and have done to make sense of why she says that and other hurtful things to me. It sucks. She is my mom, and I want a good relationship with her. I'm trying, but when she tells me our life is miserable because of me and I have something wrong with me, how does she expect me to not be angry with her constantly and take everything she says as if she's trying to hurt me?
Yeah, that that's hard. You've been through so much for your age, you're so young, and like we've talked about before, you had to grow up at your age. You've become a principal already. You make decisions most people your age never will have to. It's really hard to hear this, and I can hear the pain in your voice when you say that, and you honestly do believe something is wrong with you because of what mom has said to you. I'm sorry that this is happening to you, and you know you have this has been put in your head, and this is something you have to struggle with every day. Um, the team and I have been working with mom on these statements, and you know, we talked about her trauma, and it appears from her that this was kind of learned behavior. So when I kind of put it in perspective to her to help her notice how these statements affected her when she was your age, she really was hurt, seeing that she's hurting you in the same way that she's been hurt. I'm not saying what she's done is right, and I'm hoping we can continue to work with both of you to help you with this attachment. And that's one thing that we've really been focusing on to make this attachment stronger between the two of you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do want a relationship with my mom. I know we can have it, but she has a lot of issues she needs to work through too. I don't and won't ever have a relationship with my dad, so I will do whatever I can to have one with my mom if she puts in the work too.
I agree. Yes, you both would need to put in the work, and we've talked to mom about doing individual counseling and actually sticking it out this time because there's been many times that she has tried counseling and she just gives up because she says she doesn't want to relive her trauma. Doesn't have to relive her trauma, but at least to work on her coping skills and her emotional regulation for your attachment again. But I do want to go back to you saying how mom always kills your dreams. What did you mean by that?
Well, now she's been talking about moving to Africa with her ex-boyfriend, and she calls me crazy. Like, what the hell? But I told her if she moves, I'm staying here. I don't know what she's thinking. She has 4 kids. We can't just move to Africa. And she thinks our lives would just get better there.
Yeah. She did mention to us that she wants to visit Africa to see her ex-boyfriend. I didn't hear about moving, and that's difficult. I can't imagine moving there would actually happen. It would take so much work. You know, she's sick. She has chemo weekly and appointments weekly, and she needs really good medical care. And then just you and your siblings, you guys have created a life here, and moving to Africa is very just not a good idea. I don't think. That's something that we did talk to her about visiting, and even that didn't seem like a good idea with her health. So I think that's something we'll have to dig deeper with her. So you mentioned you dreams that you want to happen here. I know before you didn't want to move. We've talked about this. You didn't want to move because um, you finally have a life here. You feel like you've grown up here and your family's happy here. What dreams do you want to happen here too?
Yeah, exactly. Me and Tommy have planned it all out. When I'm done high school, I will go to nursing school and we want to move to Delaware together. We talked about kids too, but that will obviously be weighted.
Yes. That is very exciting, and I know you could do those goals. We've talked about you wanting to do nursing, and you would do really well in that field. So I'm happy to hear you and tell me you're thinking about this and creating goals to work on for your future and what would be best for you.
Yeah, I know I can reach these goals and I want to have a better life than my mom's. So,
Well, what would you do differently as a mom than your mom has?
well, I wouldn't tell my kids there's something wrong with them, that's for sure. I would spend time with them. I guess I would make sure they know they can talk to me about anything. I'd give them a good life.
I'm happy to hear that. I know you would. We've talked about how you already are basically a parent to your siblings, especially Luke, your youngest brother. He is your child. You two have a better attachment than anyone in the household, and you do so well with him. It's amazing to us for how young you are too. Like we said, you had to be that parent for him especially. But I do find it interesting. The first comment you mentioned was you wouldn't tell your kids something was wrong with them. Um, I wanted to get back to this statement and how much that statement of something is wrong with you affects you anyway, because um, you mentioned it before, you're saying it again. So let's talk about that more and tell me a time like you didn't feel this is true or you didn't think mom thought this of you.
Delaware. When I think about Delaware, everything was so much better. We were all so much happier.
Yeah, you talked about Delaware a lot and the happiness that was there. So what was different in Delaware?
Well, one thing was that we had money, but like I said, we just were happier. There wasn't any arguments, but I guess that could be because mom wasn't home a lot.
Right. So from what you told me before, Delaware is when you and your older brother Jake were like the parents because mom wasn't home a lot. So Jake did step up more because he was older.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think something was wrong with you then or what you did when you were parenting?
No, I mean I stepped up and did what my mom wasn't doing.
Correct, you did. So, like I mentioned before, you've done a lot for your siblings, you've done a lot for your age. Now, tell me when you did start believing these statements from mom.
Uh, Probably within the past year. After I got hospitalized, I feel like she tells everyone that I'm crazy and people believe it. And she thinks because I tried killing myself, there's something wrong with me. But I did it because I couldn't take her anymore.
Yeah. So, when the thought comes to your head that there's something wrong with you, you are crazy because of mom continuously saying it and her telling other people these are things that you believe now.
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay. I'm sure that's not easy throughout the day to hear, especially from mom.
No.
What do you think it would be like to think to yourself, say that statement comes in your head and you say, well, that was weird. I know this isn't true. I've done and this, and this, and you can state these things. So acknowledge what you've done in your life so far. So for you, you could be like, well, that was weird. And I know there's nothing wrong with me. I've stepped up when my mom didn't. I've saved my mom when she got stabbed. You're going back to school now. You've done so much. Like I said, not many people your age will ever have to do, or many people will ever have to do in their life so far. Um, and I know that wasn't easy for you to do, and I'm sure it's not easy to cope with that every day, but you did do it, and that just shows how much strength you do have. You had and still have so much going on within your life, and these thoughts I'm sure are still going to come to your mind, especially if mom will continue to say these. I hope she doesn't, because we are working on that with her. But I think if you can challenge these thoughts with the what I said earlier, like this isn't true, I think that you might be able to realize it isn't true and they're more irrational thoughts.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I know when I really think about it, it isn't true. So I need to have those thoughts be stronger, I guess more positive. Just hard when you hear it from your own mother.
I completely agree. And yeah, I've heard you talk about what you're proud of for yourself before, you are proud of a lot of what you're doing and you see your strength, and I'm sad this is happening to you. It shouldn't be. So I think like our next session, I want you and mom to be in it so we can work on more of mom's past and she can really focus in on see how much has been affecting you so much. So that way the communication and like the misunderstanding that both of you have can just be worked on. And I really would like for her to join us.
Yeah, I think that's fine. That'd be good.
Okay, well, we can talk about other stuff, but mom, I'll let her know that she needs to be in this session.
Okay.